really? Oh, wow.
It definitely ended up very abstract.
Which was USBL's fault, not navigation's
Yeah,
fault.
yeah.
What's the next line number?
The next line will be 9, but we're well away from getting to that. It's just I was giving him a heads up so he can plan his next beautiful turn.
Yeah, we still have over an hour to go before the end of this line.
No problem. I'm just gonna note this down.
Cool.
And that's barring some other fun thing we see that changes my mind.
Great.
You're the boss.
What does funny tall target mean?
Wait, who's asking?
There's a target called funny tall target, which is not our target numbering nomenclature.
I see what you're looking at.
Any thoughts? Guess not.
That's a solid question.
I was not on watch when that happened.
Let me see if there's any notes.
It might have been the watch before us.
It was, yeah, it was the watch before us.
That would have been...
Let me see if there's any... Nope, no notes. It's just called funny tall target.
Well, you don't need any notes if you call it that.
Yeah, they even underscored it and everything. Yeah, that was a little over 4 hours ago.
Hey Mike, just out of curiosity, can you bring up target number 19?
19?
Just the image?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that we found quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because we have some straight lines in it.
Valeria, out of all of the organisms you've seen floating in the water column, which one has been your favorite?
I don't know. I don't know if it's maybe I need some glasses because I don't see much.
there's just a few drifting here and there.
Yeah.
There's
I would say that I love crustaceans, so if anything like a crustacean would be my go-to.
That's a good answer. Yeah, there's been a few like shrimp nearby or swimming through.
Yeah. What about yours?
I really like the swimming sea cucumbers. Yeah.
We're experts on that.
They're holothurians.
Yep.
But they're great.
Bye, Peyton.
All right, I'm going to hand this back over.
Bye, Peyton.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, that sounds just about right.
Yeah. Let me tell you about holothurians.
Let me tell you. Yeah. No, they're great. They just have a pretty obnoxious tendency.
Oh.
Do you guys remember the name of that squid that we saw that looked like a sea pen, but then it turned out to be a squid?
Shoot.
Peter.
I called it the unicorn squid. That was my name. That wasn't.
That one was awesome.
That's not scientific.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Was it the pig snout squid?
No, it
That's something
was.
different?
That one's amazing.
Yeah,
too.
the
That was
piglet
amazing.
squid. That was. We weren't on watch for that one. No, it was this squid that had elongated fin. That looked like a sea pen, like the coral.
Yeah, it totally looked like it was carrying or something.
Yeah, but Alex is gonna kill me for not being able to remember what its name was. Do you know? Are you quizzing me?
No,
or-
I don't know. It was pretty rare though. I think they said they haven't they don't have any living. They've never had a living specimen of it or anything.
Yeah, they haven't taken any living samples
yeah.
before. Yeah.
That was probably the coolest thing we saw on our watch.
I thought the shark was pretty cool.
The shark? Oh yeah.
The shark was cool. But
The
unfortunately, I couldn't get near it.
Yeah.
What sort of shark did you see?
Sand tiger?
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it was,
cool. Like really deep, right?
It was potentially one of the deepest recordings of that species or genus or something like that. And I think there was 4 other organisms that obviously they still have a lot of work to do to figure it out, but were potentially marked for not being previously known.
That's awesome.
But there's some of that goes down to like DNA.
Yeah.
So they have to.
It's tough. It's tough to prove a new species with just visuals.
But yeah, new or not, it was really cool.
There's a box back here under the table that makes it like I'm sitting in an airplane seat.
We could move that. Here, I'll come on.
Yeah, probably move them over to the chart table.
I just turn these things into footrests.
This is great. We have people from different countries that we didn't have in the previous shift. So this is awesome.
Do we have any landlocked countries?
Landlocked countries?
Florida.
I don't think so.
Floridians are online.
I have people from Canada, New Zealand, Singapore, Philippines, Netherlands, the United Kingdom, Ecuador. That must be my family, actually. Australia, and of course the United States.
What's that bit that looks like a... zoom in on Argus there for a second.
Man-made.
No, what is
Can't
that?
Or a
hold
stick.
down anymore.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna go with not a rock.
It's pretty deep for
Not a
a
rock.
stick.
Not a rock.
Yeah.
We found palm fronds at 3,000
Right,
meters.
yeah, we did.
Well, there you go.
On multiple occasions.
I mean, I can always drop a target if we want to mark it.
I just marked it as trash in the event log.
Yeah,
But
that's
it'll
fine.
be easier to go back. Okay.
I don't think it's something worth
Yeah.
noting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as trash. I don't think it's anything that would be even remotely diagnostic towards debris field.
Got it.
Well, if we're...
Oh, this is great. Someone from Armenia just
cool.
checked
Oh,
in.
that's cool.
Oh, there we got a
Hey,
little creature
Oh, there you go. Little something swimming.
Are you playing with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
there. Some kind of eel-looking... Eel-like fish? Fish-like eel?
Fish like eel.
Yeah, got it. Fish-like eel.
Miles stash.
That's a nice picture of the bottom.
Yeah. Chris, did we pass the Simone Clipper target 2 lines below? Or are we approaching it? I think we passed it.
That's yeah.
I think it was while I was at dinner.
Oh, I missed it.
No, I mean there
No,
wasn't.
no,
Oh
it's
no, it
coming
didn't
up.
yet. Okay.
We're coming up.
All right, so we're almost in line with 19
Oh, cool,
to
cool, cool.
directly north of. I really think dinner used to be at 5:30.
It was. They moved it because I think 12 to 4 people wanted to go to bed earlier.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
I don't know. They changed that 2 or 3 years ago.
I was trying to tell
at least.
myself that it was 6:45, but it's not. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's
What's that?
something in the Argus view, top right.
That is
I
something.
could try putting my other light on. I don't know.
Yeah, let's try the light.
Rock.
Yeah.
It's a weird shaped rock. Looks like a tree.
It does look like a
there's
tree.
something similar up.
I mean, not unheard of being.
Can you go a little lower?
Yeah.
Or we might lose it actually. Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Seems to continue on.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does look tree-like.
This close to shore.
Yeah, let's leave that light on as long as.
It's at least the
not
most
flickering.
interesting thing we've seen in the video.
what?
Yeah.
I don't think. It kind of almost looks
Okay.
like breaks in the rock that
Oh,
sediment
yeah.
has filled.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Are
right.
we approaching
That's-
a hill? Oh. Yeah.
Not
Not
really.
really.
That's what it is, though. Sediment
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
cracks.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
not a tree at all. And certainly not aircraft.
Not a tree.
Nope.
Oh,
It
what
is in
that?
this fact rock.
Yeah. Or, yeah, that's cool.
Is this like a lava tube?
It could be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Almost with the layering, it almost just looks like It's a big rock that got pushed
And
together.
it captures. Cool. Yeah, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just broken rock.
Just some larva. That actually helps me interpret these rocks that we were seeing in the sonar.
Well, that's what I think, these long,
yeah.
with the sediment sort of in the middle of them.
Yeah, that makes more sense. And these like wiggle, these dark lines in them. That, yeah. Huh, that's cool. Yay for ground truthing.
What time is sunset today?
Around 6.
Close to 6, like every day. But I think after, slightly after. What is the in-out point?
It's also a good question. I think that is one of HYPAC's labels,
Okay.
not one we put in. Yeah, that's a good question. It's definitely not a target just based on the size of the...
My assumption when I saw that, when we were planning lines, was that that was something they put in when they thought they were going to maybe launch the ROV there or something.
Okay.
I don't know what in-out means, though. It usually be like launch point.
Yeah, usually that's what it...
In-out. We certainly wouldn't recover the vehicles in the exact same spot that we put them in. Or I guess in this case, vehicle.
Nope.
It's a term we use in video editing, but I don't think that has any relation here.
Golden sounding? What the heck is that?
I don't know.
Golden sound.
I don't know what's turning on and off when I click that.
Oh, that's really good.
I have all sorts of thoughts about that one.
That's the outtakes roll.
Yeah. Still want to know what really high target is, or whatever they called it.
Funny, tall target.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's under the label that's titled Chart Clipper.
Okay. Doesn't really help. We just went over it.
Yep.
Like,
That's why I was curious what
we
it
just
was.
scribbled all the way over it. Thanks, USPL.
Yeah, so that's one of the ones that would have been written in plan.
Yeah.
So that means something to someone
Okay.
who isn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. We went right over it, and I still didn't see it in Argus-Cam. It was like we crossed the equator, and I couldn't even see the line.
Did you get shellbacked?
Yeah.
Yeah. I crossed it in airplane, so that didn't count.
Yeah, no, I was out there waiting to see the big red line. It's on every globe.
Yeah, it is.
Of course. Yeah.
There wasn't one.
Did you feel any different when you crossed it?
Felt like you know, you're like standing upside down, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
I think Steven, was it you who went up to? Were you in front when we crossed, or?
Yeah, I tried to be the first one to cross. I went up to the monkey deck and leaned over.
The monkey deck, someone could totally run onto the bow.
Yeah, then I looked down and someone, one of the crew members was painting something on the bow.
He wasn't even trying. I just think of that that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where he flips the ship over to get out of the underworld. Up is down. That should be what the equator's like.
That's how it felt.
Yeah. Cool.
That was. It's just like that.
That's how that.
Yeah, we actually one of the first dives we did south of the equator, I called in a ship move due north, and it just immediately started going south, and I'm like, oh no, everything's turned around.
Everything's backwards now?
No, I was just taking a quick step adjusting to current, but
Also, when I leaned over the top of the monkey deck, was like I got up there right when they blew the horn to signify that we crossed. So it was
That's cool.
a little loud.
Except for that, yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was cool.
it made a couple people jump a little bit. Of course, the crew's up on the bow painting, and it was like just any other day.
They're like, whatever.
Yeah, done this
They've
before.
probably done it a lot.
One of the other captains, Rowan, who hasn't been out in a long time, he liked to blare the horn when we were taking our photos on, like our group photos on the bow. And you could like all of you would jump, and then you'd look up, and he'd just be laughing his head off up in the bridge. Like, really?
It's very loud, and any point you're forward of the mast, you can feel that vibration.
See
It's
the
a little, like,
long
line or
cylindrical?
something.
Yeah, something on the seafloor.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just out of reach.
Sticky.
No.
Oh, well, you missed it.
I have
Too slow.
an image.
Was it biology?
Thin, long, like
Oh.
tube-ish.
Hmm. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
No, this. What do you think this is? Is this worth clicking on?
Yeah, the 3 dots are interesting. Yeah,
Let's target it.
let's make that target.
We have a target at 70 meters
yeah.
to port.
70 meters to port eye.
The 3 regular
Yeah.
little hollows in there is interesting. Oh, and we have biology cruising through too.
And then did you have a description for that target?
Blocky with 3 holes in it. I'm just making stuff up.
Sounds good.
It's better than me saying no.
And you were making fun of funny tall target.
Well, yes, because these are things we put in the event log, not as target names.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that was that not. I assume that wasn't logged by the target logging, so it's kind of a strange thing to put in.
I'm wondering if it's something that they'd
All right, I'm
seen
done with the screen.
in the camera, and had not thought of
Maybe.
as. I don't know. I'll ask.
Yeah. Also ask about golden sounding.
Golden
Yeah,
sound.
what golden sounding is.
Or maybe don't ask, I don't know. What?
Rebecca, your parents say
This?
hello.
Oh, hello. Wait.
This? Yeah, we can do this. Come on. There you go. All right, we have another one at
Oh boy.
30 meters to port.
30 meters to port.
Do you have a description for this?
Probably linear with some with scattered debris. It's
Has a little
curved.
zigzag in it.
Well, it's curved, but that's due to the heave, so it probably is linear.
All right, I'm done with that screen.
Okay.
I think that's another, we just passed over pelagic sea cucumber.
Oh.
You start
there's
saying that, and then
something.
we get excited. Then we're like, eh.
Oh yeah.
Sonar.
Pelagic sea cucumber.
Oh yeah, sorry, I should front with.
What the hell was that?
That was weird.
Could that have been
The sea cucumber.
a fish?
It was a giant sea cucumber.
A very,
Megalodon.
very big sea
of
cucumbers.
sea cucumbers.
Definitely megalodon. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Shark
That's
Week's
weird.
coming up. They always have that special. It's like, is megalodon still a thing?
So
We don't know.
Yeah. So we did some work in the Gulf of Mexico in the brine pools. So if there were any sea cucumbers there, would they be pickles?
Yes.
Uh,
Have you ever tried sea cucumbers?
No.
Eaten them?
I know that
uh,
you can, but I have not.
I don't know if we're
Have
ever
you?
going to try.
I don't think I'd pass.
Our watch is not interested
I
in
don't
them
eat
anymore.
seafood.
You don't eat seafood,
No.
Wendy? No? Oh. Any seafood? Nope.
No.
So we're suddenly in like completely barren, no rock.
Yeah.
It's so
Right, yeah.
weird. It's
Yeah.
so sudden.
we,
It's very
Yeah.
strange.
yeah.
There's nothing in the bathymetry that says that it would do that.
The only thing I can think of is we just came off of the rock. It was a little
Yeah,
steeper
that's-
slope.
yeah, that's true.
That maybe
This
the
is
sediment
pretty
would
flat
run
here.
off
Yeah,
of.
a little bit more flat. Well, good. Let's find the debris field here.
We
Yeah, that'd be nice.
New plan. Go team.
yeah, work on it. Learned all about angle of repose.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest thing that you've tried as food?
Let me think about that.
When I was 3, I tried dirt.
You waited that long?
That was actually last week.
I've eaten some live insects.
Oh, gross.
Intentionally?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool.
I have to be honest, I have not actually tried all that strange things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really the sort of person who would say I'd try anything once because it's really not true. A coworker of mine has traveled extensively in parts of Asia and Iceland and all over, and he's tried like every gross thing you can think of, including like that shark that they bury in the sand for like 3 months in Iceland. And he said that was the only one that made him gag. Everything else, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Oh, God.
Oh. I admire people like that.
I don't know about that. I don't know if admire's the right word.
There's a Chinese dish I had called bitter melon.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That was absolutely one of the worst things I've ever eaten.
I hear sea urchin is quite strong.
Yeah, I'd
As
like
well.
to try that.
That's not that bad.
No? Oh,
No,
okay.
I mean, it's fishy, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
it is good.
I'm 100% sure I would not like it. But going back to the original question, sea cucumber is something that is served.
For
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Has anyone tried it?
Nope.
I have not.
Well, now
and
I have to.
It's
obviously.
on my no list. 'Cause
Your no
so
list.
specific, like I'm okay with certain seafood, but ones that taste fishy or like marine, and I know that sea urchin and sea cucumber are very likely. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
taste like that, so I'm pretty sure that's very strong on the no list. On the not interested thanks list.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you think about. Like, I could definitely die and think back and go, yeah, no, don't think I missed out on
don't
anything.
regret not trying that.
Yeah.
I'm also really against liver in all sorts of presentations. I've tried it numerous times, and it has been revolting every time.
Yeah, I've tried a couple of different animals like hearts. Yeah, it's a little bit on the it's close to the no side.
The thing about liver though is that it's a tease because it smells really good when you're cooking it. And then it's like psych.
Well, it's bathed in butter.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I've had it like just plain old boiled, which is gross. And then and so the first year that we were on Nautilus, they made liver multiple different ways and never told us. It's like one time it was, I'll preface this with totally different cooks, totally different, so it wasn't these guys for sure. And we actually had to say, okay, no more liver on the boat. But like they fried it one time. They made, the most interesting was they made, it looked like a cheeseburger cake. So it was two like plate-sized ground, or patties of ground liver, I thought it was beef, with melted cheese in between, melted cheese on top, and grilled onions on top. So let me tell you, this thing smelled incredible. I was like, oh, that looks so good. And we didn't know that it was ground liver. We thought it was like ground beef. So that was a fun surprise.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
What are these things that we're seeing?
So those look like depressions. If you see the shadow first, it means normally you'd see the reflection and then the shadow behind it, but this means that the sound is diving into the hole and reflecting it against the backside. I guess this is it worth logging?
yeah, I might do it just because it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's been
The
flat
shadow
for a
doesn't
while.
make me think it's anything, but it is in the middle of nowhere. So there's some scour in front of it. So this is 28. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not measure this. Shoot.
70 to starboard.
You got it? Thanks.
It is so interesting how cooking and food in general is such a cultural thing. 'Cause things that are super gross to me can be like daily,
Yeah.
like delicious food for someone else, right?
Yeah. Well, so on the subject of food and diets, my mom for the longest time she doesn't really eat grain or meat. She eats like vegetables and yogurt and fish, and that's pretty much it. And recently she just texted me, or texted my brothers and sister and I this. She's like, hey, I started eating chicken again. And I'm like, wait,
What?
it's like literally like 2 decades she hasn't eaten it at all. It's like, okay, why? I don't know. He's like, okay.
It just
And Dad was like, yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done with that screen if you want to close it.
All right.
The only type of things on my no list are like, well, I don't eat mammals, so that's the thing.
Mammals?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? There's a few reasons. Like one of them is because like I empathize with them more than other animals, and I feel like it's a positive thing to cut out for the environment.
Oh, absolutely. Especially
And
beef.
yeah, I'd love to cut out birds and seafood as well, but I'm not there yet. It's only been like 2 years or so that I haven't eaten those. But things like s'mores, Pop-Tarts, or like popcorn, jelly beans, those are things that are on my no list.
Oh, really? Huh. So like processed sugary foods?
Yeah.
That's smart and healthy.
yeah.
That's
I think
great.
just
Is
on
it
the
because
better
you
side.
don't want to, or you don't like the taste?
Both.
Okay.
That's so interesting.
Because things that are severely on my no list are due to taste-wise.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess it's like I don't think I'm gonna I don't think it's gonna blow me away. Like, or it's gonna. I don't think it. I think I could just imagine it's like super sugary and.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of
What
those
does it
things
mean?
that you mentioned are
But like,
life-changing.
Yeah, none of those I'm like running out to go.
I'd rather eat
Yeah.
bitter. I think I'd rather try bitter melon again, just because it's interesting.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure they're telling you not to eat it in the name.
Yeah. Well, I was with a friend who was like, "I love this." It's like, okay.
You know everything you like about a melon? Yeah, it's none of that.
All the characteristics of a melon. It's not that. It's like those cucumbers in the BFG story. What were those called? Has anyone read the BFG by Roald Dahl?
No.
No.
Maybe years ago, but
There was a particular type of cucumber that they ate, the giants ate, that was like really gross, and but I forget what it was called. Some funny word that he made up, obviously. Oh well. Bad story.
So we were talking about the sea pickles. Have you ever tried a like sea pickle with just a cucumber and salt water?
No.
So
Like in seawater?
yeah.
That is
So
so
if you
specific.
Have you made like marine pickles?
Yeah, it's you take it and you just take a knife and you shave like half of like a strip every other, it's hard to explain. Like
Yeah.
a stripe pattern down it.
Sure.
And then just drop it into a bucket of salt water that you just get off the side of the boat and wait. And then at the end of the day, you got a really large pickle that is really just a salty cucumber, but you call it a sea pickle.
Doesn't sound great.
No, it's not, you're not selling it.
Not selling
It-
at all. No.
It's hard to sell like
Sea pickles.
the way we are now. It's a lot better to sell at the end of like a 10-hour day out in the sun on some small boat fishing somewhere. But yeah, the knife you cut it up with is like your fillet knife for all the fish.
This is not sounding sanitary.
No,
at
you better
all.
just stop with this story.
I was already wondering if it was sanitary with just the bucket and the water, and now that's just odd.
Oh
No.
yeah, it's totally not.
I was obsessed with food a couple years ago, so I wouldn't
Were?
eat anything.
What happened?
What happened?
Why are you not obsessed with food now?
Because I wanted to be a little more normal. 'Cause, like I wouldn't eat anything that came in packages.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no animals, no processed foods besides oil, basically. Then I would grab salt from the sea, and I was that kind of obsessed, you
Yeah.
know. So it was kind of hard.
Yeah, that sounds not only difficult but also expensive. Like just because access to packaged processed food is cheaper and easier to come by.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So there's no sugars, no
Yeah.
colors, no cans, no. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I guess my friends hated me a little bit.
Just a little bit though.
Just a little bit.
Well, I know in America definitely makes it hard to get easily accessible healthy foods like that, unprocessed, when a bottle of soda costs less than a bottle of water.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea cucumber.
There's a family of sea cucumbers on the sonar return.
Right there.
This guy, they're giant.
You guys ever seen Up
Yep.
The movie?
with, yeah, the dog that's always like doing something, it's like, squirrel.
Yep.
This is like that, but this is down, and it's sea cucumbers.
Down, I get it.
Thanks for the humor. From Melinda.
The delay sounds genuine.
That's how you know it's funny, when people don't laugh, but they thank you for the humor.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to laugh when it's funny, right? Because no one's ever laughed at my jokes.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, alright, got it.
That's another thing that is very cultural, humor.
Yeah, some jokes don't translate.
Yeah, totally.
It's also so universal, though. You know what you think? Like, everybody, I don't know. I think,
Oh, that we all have humor.
yeah, and I
as
think there's
humans?
some things that every culture will find funny.
That would be interesting. Yeah. And also, I feel like humor, like bonds, like makes people bond.
Yeah,
So you cannot be friends with someone that you cannot laugh with.
right.
Yeah, you also don't really want to be around anyone that...
Exactly. Yeah.
all work and no play isn't very fun.
But I guess you're right. Like, a good example is like British humor. It's a very distinct. Seems like a very distinct kind of humor.
Absolutely, yeah.
What's it? How would you describe it in Ecuador?
I am the worst Ecuadorian, perhaps. So, in general, I would say that I don't enjoy my country's humor as much. Yeah. Let me check if someone from Ecuador
I was
is
gonna say, what do your
listening.
parents think of that? If they're still
I think
watching.
just let me check. Okay. So no people from Ecuador is signed up yet now. So yeah. Okay. No, but it's true. Yeah. But I do like British humor a lot, and most of my family don't like it. So it's like, yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Oh, I missed the sunset. It's gone.
All right, Dee Dee's stepping out. She'll be back for her watch in a little bit. She says that we need to make sure we keep this type of bottom because it's easier to find targets on. And I agree. So, thank you.
We'll let the lead crew know to put down more sand.
Well, you joke, but I did a survey last summer off of St. Augustine. And it was right at, well, it wasn't right after, it was about a year after Hurricane Irma hit, and like it washed out so much of the sand on the beach. It was like, it washed up probably 10 to 20 feet in places, and it was just this black sand that had never been exposed to the air before. Then they came and they replenished it all with sand that they scooped up offshore,
Wow.
basically where it had taken all the sand in borrow pits. And yeah, we had no targets because they had just put all the sand on the beach and the waves had started pulling it into the ocean. So it was like just all fresh sand. But then we tried to dive on a few targets that we had found, and it's just like visibility was zero because it is all the suspended sand. So you joke about putting sand down, but it actually does happen.
Wow.
Replenishing beach sand is actually a lot more complicated than I ever thought.
Yeah.
If you actually don't get the right grain size, like if the grain size of what you put down is different from the beach's original like grain size,
It'll just fall to the bottom.
it'll immediately get swept out to sea.
Yeah.
There's been a couple instances where beaches have spent millions trying to replenish, like in front of hotels and stuff, and they got it wrong, and within the year, all their sand was gone again.
And a lot of it's pulled away anyway, just because, you know, wave action and stuff. Yeah, it was frustrating diving because it was just visibility was zero.
So we don't have the sunset, but there's kind of interesting shot of the moon coming up.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
nice. Speaking about humor, I'm thinking about my country. It's a very little country, right? But humor in the coast is very different from humor in the Sierras, in the mountains, and in the Amazon jungle too. Is very different, and in the Galapagos for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about the States, since this humongous country. You guys must have like different humor. That's very different between regions, right?
I mean, I don't know.
What do you think?
The thing is, the states are connected. Like we all watch the same,
Shows.
TV shows, the same
Oh.
like late night comedy hosts, and everyone has watches SNL. So it's kind of like, not that everyone watches it, but you know what I mean. Like the access to the media is kind of the same across the country.
Okay,
So
so
I
you
mean,
have
I'm
like
sure
a-
there are variances, but I can't think of like a geographic difference in
Oh.
I mean,
humor.
yeah, there's definitely like difference in experience. Like in the South, if they're joking about like some experience they had, it's not gonna be the same as like in New England we can make jokes about like Dunkin' Donuts that might not get picked up somewhere else. But typically, although there's like those differences, everyone else still picks up on it.
Yeah.
Because there is
Yeah.
that connection that you kind of do have an understanding of what's going on in different places. So,
Yeah. Cool.
It's a good question, though. I haven't thought about that too much.
Yeah, I know. So I used to do quite a bit of field work down on Maya sites in Belize, and the local workmen who we'd bring along with us to, cut trails and help excavate and stuff. Their humor was it was different. Anytime one of them would get hurt, like stub their toe or trip over something, they would laugh so hard, and it's just like. Like in a couple instances, it really wasn't funny because they were like quite hurt. It's just like you guys are like they don't even help them. They're like just like, laughing really hard. I'm like slapstick must be a totally different thing on down there. So I do know what you mean with cultural differences in humor, but I haven't really seen it so much across the U.S.
that sounds like me with my friends. Like you always laugh before you ask the person if they're okay.
think Argus is going over like the one rock in the area right now.
Rock. Yeah, there's none on the sonar.
Yeah.
We have some viewers submitting jokes. If anybody's interested.
Are any of them
Anything that can be read out?
Yeah.
They look appropriate so far.
All right, go for it.
Use your judgment.
Hold on, give me a second here. I like this one. Why doesn't a pickle like to travel?
Why?
Because it's a jarring experience.
But if it's in a bucket, then it wouldn't be.
Yeah, see? 1 point for the bucket.
Some of them are going over my head here, so I'm kind of
We'll be careful then.
through these. What musical instrument would a cucumber play?
A pickle flute?
Close.
Piccolo.
Piccolo.
That's better. Pickle
And
flute.
I'm trying here.
what is a pickle's philosophy of life?
Don't be salty.
Never a dull moment. These, by the way, these jokes are all coming in from Metamora, Illinois. So I think I think we know where those are coming from.
Hi, Dad.
Yep.
Forgot to warn you guys. He was gonna send in some jokes. He does it every year.
Nice.
He's probably thrilled you guys are reading them off.
Redefining dad jokes.
Yeah.
So here's one that I thought of. You know how the Marvel character Ant-Man can like get really small and go inside people?
Yeah.
So if he were to, have trouble and die while in there, he'll have died in vain.
Oh,
Oh my
jeez.
gosh.
It's better if you write it though. Then you can VEIN.
All right, so there's one I thought of on our last leg that I've been saving up for this moment.
All right, do it.
So there's an island, and it's hanging out with its island friend. And the one island asks the other island, do you ever wish you had like a tidal pool that was ring-shaped and made of coral? And the other island goes, not at all.
Oh yeah.
Oh, science joke.
I thought you were going towards like an engagement or something, like a proposal, like.